Yeah. And for those guys that don't know, so you got the Torrent Think Tank on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yes.
And you've got a special guest this week, right?
I do. I have Scott Johnson from The Instance, from TMS, from the Final Score, from all those great things.
Yeah.
Super excited, and we're gonna hit some community discussion, man.
Yeah.
Talking some community.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and you're like, oh man, I kind of have an idea of what I should talk to him about. What should I talk to him about? I'm like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? Talk to him about people, man.
I know. And the cool thing is that I'd been working on this for a while, but Scott was moving and things were kind of tough with his schedule, but we actually got a chance to meet up at Blizzcon. Pat had gone to do Game Breaker at the time, so you weren't there. But I was up in the AIE Guild Hall that he is part of.
Well, I saw him.
He was
there.
Up there.
I was
saw him there.
Yeah, I was there beforehand.
Yeah, and so he was sitting there with Tom Merritt. And so I got a chance to meet Tom for the first time, which was really cool.
Yep.
But when I told Scott that I was the one who was trying to get him, he's like, I owe you the biggest apology ever. I said, well, I'm just going to continue to ask you until we can say yes. And he's like, yes.
Right.
So,
then he's like, oh my God, you're going to annoy me forever? Oh, yeah, Jesus, I better do this now. Holy crap.
We have a fun show planned for this. And do you have any guests coming up for Convert to Raid in the next couple weeks?
Probably.
You got to cover for Darius, don't you? Darius is moving.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah.
It was so funny though because at that party that we threw, man, that was incredible.
Oh,
and I met so many cool people, and I want to have them all on the show at some point. I just want to have them all on the show. Maybe next time I'll have like Trekkie on the show. Maybe
Trekkie would be fun.
And Trekkie's a fun guy. He's a cool dude. I've talked to him a few times before. But have some other guys from Blood Legion on, or Method, or maybe have Sloot on again.
Yep.
It was really funny because I walked up to him and I really didn't. I wasn't paying attention. I may have been drinking
a little bit.
And I walked up to all the raiders, and I was like hanging out with Absalom, who I had met several times at that point, and he's on Blood Legion, and there was all I saw was Blood Legion, Midwinter, Method, like all their shirts were represented. I'm like, go up to this big group of people and just introduce myself to everybody. Hick, and then I slam back the drink, and then go up and just say, hi, how's it going? I'm Pat Crane, and I did that with Sloot, and I wasn't paying attention. He had the name on the back, and he looked at me and he goes, hey, you know who I am? And I went, what? And he turned around and I go, oh, crap, Sloot, look out. So, not very nice guy.
They were all super nice. And what I thought was really, you had so much to go on during that time, and so many people wanted your attention that you did an amazing job. I didn't see you the entire night. We were all in the same space, but I saw you everywhere.
Insane.
But you and I never did talk to each other because we were all just talking to people.
I know it was literally the busiest, most awesome adventure I've ever been on.
Yeah.
It was really cool because at one point I was alone at the Hilton Bar.
Yep.
When you're alone at the Hilton Bar, by the way, you are not truly alone.
No, you're not.
Because what ended up happening was, I think, this is when you were doing your show. This is like right before I started doing the Game Breaker stuff.
Yep.
And I walked from one corner of the bar out into the middle of the open area, the middle courtyard area, and then back towards the other end of the bar. So kind of a V shape.
Yep.
And in this V shape, it took me where if you were just to walk it, it would take, like 30 seconds maybe. But it took me an hour and a half.
Yes.
Essentially to go through this thing. And I saw Metzen, and I was trying to make my way to Metzen. And then Gary texted me and let me know that the Game Breaker thing was actually going down. And I'm like, oh, crap. So then I was like, okay, I'll just talk to this one other person, and then I'll go see if I can get Metzen. And then by that time, he had gone past me.
Yep.
After I talked, and I'm like, oh, shoot. So really, really cool, though.
Did you ever get to talk to Metzen?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but that's okay. I don't know what I would have said, really. I mean, he's very lore oriented.
Well, yeah, but he's still
a nice guy.
Oh yeah,
but
totally.
But later that night, what ended up happening was I was like on one of the side parts of the Hilton.
Yep.
And I was just hanging out, and the Game Breaker crew was over there, and I saw like Zaram, so I went over to said hi, and Stashiok was over there, and then all of a sudden I look over, and there's Greg Street, like right next to me. I'm like, holy crap. Hey, how's it going? So how did you get all the good things to say at BlizzCon? And he's like, I have no idea. We just divided the work evenly. I'm like, yeah, right. You divided it evenly. You gave Chilton the garrisons to explain that, and you said, that's a big enough thing for you. Now I'm going to take all your thunder with all the little things.
Oh, Mr. Street earned every bit of what he got to announce for the cheers that he received because he gets the most abuse.
It was so cool. And Lori, I do not consider myself a celebrity at all. I really don't. And I don't want that. There's a stigma that comes with that. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the very accessible guy. So, yes, I'm busy a lot, but that's because I'm very, very silly. Because I put myself through it, essentially.
But, and what's awesome about watching people approach Pat and approach me, because a lot of times we were in similar spaces, is that it was just an amazing thing to watch someone recognize Pat and know who he was, and their eyes light up, and they're walking over there, and some of them are afraid to. Some of them are actually a little bit intimidated to say hi because they don't know, just like you wouldn't know what to say to Metzen, they don't know what to say to you.
Right.
And I actually brought a couple of people over to Pat at some points because they were.
That was so funny.
It was awesome.
Was this on Wednesday or Thursday night? One of those nights?
No, it was at the party.
Oh, it was at the party?
I did.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Times.
People kept on doing this to me, and I loved it, but at the same time, I felt really weird about it.
Yes.
That people were bringing people to meet me, and I'm like, no, you just come over and say hi.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's all about coming up and saying hi. And it was, I think it was Wednesday night that same thing was happening where somebody brought somebody else over to meet me, and I was really tired. I was like jet lagged for some reason, and I don't think that I had really slept very well.
Yeah, you didn't.
So I was not off to a good start for BlizzCon. And I was sitting there because I was tired, not because I was expecting people to come up to me.
Yeah.
But people did. And at one point, I just turned and I went, who the hell am I, Frank Sinatra? I should get off my ass and go meet people because this is what this is about.
Well, we were what happened was for that first night, we were all just kind of sitting there. We were just sitting there talking and socializing with other people. And then as people started to arrive and they came into the Hilton, they would see one of us, because with us also were Olivia Grace and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Lore. And so there were people who were kind of interested in talking to them. And so we started having people drift over. So it wasn't like you were sitting on the throne waiting for people, for your subjects to come and bow at your knee.
I really wasn't. But it's at one point it felt kind of like it. And I'm like going, well, geez, I should at least stand up and meet these people face to face. But I was so wiped out. I was just like, oh, God, that's crazy.
I know.
And
you did a great job.
And then it happened again at the party. One of the things that was very interesting at the party that I didn't think was going to happen was that I got really emotional at one point, because I think it's because, the guild and the show and everything is just so much a part of what I do. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I look at all the stuff that I do, and anything that affects people in a positive way is amazing. It's really amazing. And so when I got up to this room filled with people, I mean, like 200 people in this room, and I said something for the first time, I went, holy shit.
Yes.
It was not nervousness that overtook me. It was, holy shit, people are here. And it was just very strange. It was just very oh my God. It was, the emotions were raw. So I was
Well, you
like
worked
trying to
so
process it.
hard.
And I was like going, oh my God. Yeah, I was working on all the details and then I forgot about the actual party thing.
Right, because you worked so hard for so long to create this party.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
did you cry on a podcast? Because I totally cried on podcast.
Which one?
Mine.
Oh, no, I haven't cried on a podcast yet. I've come close.
Yeah, when I was upstairs doing Torrent Think Tank and I started talking about because of WoW,
Yeah.
and I looked around the room and I had fans all around, I lost it. Completely just lost it. And
it's tough.
Lou was sitting with me. Lou and her husband were sitting with me, and she had to come over and she was perfect. She came over and just hugged me because I was like, it all just hit.
Yeah.
I completely relate to you because you're surrounded by people who.
And it doesn't matter how many people it is. It doesn't matter if it's one or 100 or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's so overwhelming. It's weird. It
was fantastic.
Really hit that weekend, and it was so strange. It was just really weird, really, really weird. So.
Oh, you guys are so sweet in the chat room. You're gonna make me cry again.
They're not sweet at all. They're a bunch of jerks.
Big jerks.
Bunch of jerks.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, and I just completely broke down just for 30 seconds,
right?
And then it pulled it together. But it's a culmination of so much. I mean, I know how hard you worked to make that party happen, and you only expected to maybe have at first 300 people.
I had no idea. I was like 300 to 500, maybe 500. Probably not 500. Maybe like
not 500, but maybe was kind of where you were going.
Yeah.
And as the people started to stream in, and they were all there, and they all wanted to say hi, and then when we found out, almost 1,000 people entered those doors that night.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, you have to be so proud of yourself.
No. I don't think that ever really happened. I don't. Yes, I'm happy, but that everything was a success. But I don't ever look at that and say, oh, I did a great job. No, I'm not that way. I'm not built that way. So it's one of those things.
What you built is what I'm saying.
Oh, I am very proud of what I built, and I think you know that.
Of course I do.
But it's just hard to sit back and go, oh, how great am I? Because
that's not you.
That's not me.
No.
I can't boast about things. I can be enthusiastic about what has happened, sure, and be kind of awestruck that it happened. Yes, I can do that.
That's a great word for it. That's what happened to both of us was complete awestruck at what has become in the past year and a half.
Yeah,
and longer for you.
I have a hard time with how great are we as well, Spike. I mean, it depends on what the we is. Yeah. Is the we the community? Then I can say that because I got to meet so many awesome people.
Yeah,
and
it's all about how great is this.
Right.
That's what it is. It's not about we. It's this.
It's about this experience or this thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think how great is this is much, much better than how great am I or how great are we. I think that anytime that you boast about yourself or, I mean, you can, in this business, it's weird because you're expected to boast about your numbers or about, what incredible guest you've got on or whatever. But that's never the thing for me. It's how good of a show can I put on or how can I make sure that you guys get your money's worth of watching or listening to a free show
and having fun while doing it.
Right.
Like that's what we do. We do it for entertainment and for the love of entertaining people.
It's a passion project, and it's always been that way. And even through, some weeks it feels like a lot of work. Some weeks it feels like you're pulling teeth a little bit.
Sometimes the creative juices don't flow like you want them to.
Right. And sometimes there are outside forces that are making this not such a fun gig from time to time. But you're expected to, boast about your numbers for sales revenue, and you're supposed to be doing all this stuff, behind the scenes where you actually have the work, the business of podcasting, and you're trying to make all those different connections and try to make yourself look amenable to to opportunities, shopportunities. Black Friday's coming up.
I know.
And so you're supposed to do all that stuff, but I have a harder time with that stuff. So it's
one of the things that Pat has a hard time doing too is to admire the work that has happened at that given point, because he doesn't see it. He doesn't stop to smell the roses. And I yell at him a lot. So
smelling roses is for sissies.
It's for sissies, but and that's what you guys are there for, is just to make sure that you remind him of what good he does, because sometimes he gets so far ahead in the future that he's not seeing what's happening right now. That's great.
I never get so far ahead in the future. No, yeah, I do all the time.
You do all the time, but I say that endearingly because
right.
You deserve the praise that you get, is what I'm saying.
Well, stop it, for crying out loud. I can't handle it. So there.
Well, you're just going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with me telling you that you have to deal with it. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. I'm so glad that we could say that on this show. Oh, yeah. Even though the show isn't going anymore, we've managed to do another half hour on just riffing about BlizzCon and about how awesome that was. My God. That was such an awesome experience. I cannot tell. If you guys were not there, you missed out. Because you should have been right alongside me the entire time. I wish that could have been possible, that I could have just taken everybody everywhere with me, because I had such an incredible time.
I know. And it just, I had a couple of those moments, especially sitting in the opening ceremonies, like, oh my God, I am really here. Like, it was just that mind-blowing thing. But then everything was like a roller coaster that just took off. Yeah. And ones that I actually took off on.
Speaking of, goddamn, I forgot about that. I totally forgot I was going to bring that up. Shit. I was going to bring that shit up. Shit. Now I'm going to do that right now. So, okay, guys.
You haven't talked about this.
This is a great after show, by the way. If you ever wanted like the full range of after show, this is great after show. We've cried a little. We've managed to bond emotionally, and now I'm gonna make fun of Jules because it was incredibly awesome. I love this. So okay, we were at Disneyland.
We min-maxed Disneyland.
We went with a raid composition of 12. We had 2 on the bench from time to time because they did not like scary rides. So we basically raided Disneyland with a 10-man team and a couple of alternates. And it was incredibly fun.
It was awesome.
We went on the California Screamin' roller coaster. That's what it is.
Yes.
And basically, you kind of wind around and then you go down to this thing, and then it shoots you off at about 60 miles an hour up a hill.
Straight up.
Yeah. And that is why it's called California Screamin'. The other reason that it's called California Screamin' is because Jules would not shut the hell up. She was screaming the entire time, and I was in the car in front of her, and like off to the side. So I was on the left side, she was on the right side.
Yep.
And I was one row ahead of her, so just straight to the ear. And so the entire time she was screaming, and then she stopped screaming, and I noticed that we were coming to the loop-de-loop of the ride, and I said, "Hey, Jules, look ahead," or I don't remember what I said, but
you better look out what's coming or something.
Yeah, and then
all you heard me go was, "Oh shit!"
And then the entire time she was screaming, and I was laughing for like a solid minute because of that. I was just the entire after the second or third hill, I just started breaking down, and I was cackling, laughing so hard, and it was amazing.
Hear him. I couldn't hear you. And when he got off that, he's like, "That was the funniest thing I have ever heard." And I'm like, what?
That was so funny. And I was just like, oh my God, you cannot. That was the only time that I've ever heard somebody scream from start to friggin' finish on a roller coaster.
Roller coasters, though.
That was amazing.
Oh my God. I don't like roller coasters that much. So I go on because but that initial drop of a roller coaster is like my fear. So I spend most of my time on the roller coaster like this.
Yeah.
And then I scream.
Yeah.
And it's just,
It was amazing.
oh God. I was crying. I was laughing so hard afterwards because he was laughing so hard.
My guts hurt for like, well, they hurt for a long time because I was laughing a lot over the weekend, but it was just a really good time. It was like the perfect way to start off that vacation. And
It was.
Well, it's not really a vacation, but it was like a working vacation or whatever. I mean, this stuff isn't work, people.
No.
Yeah, there's work to be done, but for the most part, it's just a fun passion project for me. So.
And my friend learned something new about me on this vacation.
Yeah, that was fun. That was so fun.
Oh my gosh,
Italy was a vacation. Oh God.
Yeah, and it was an adventure.
Yes, it was. It was an adventure with death due to dysentery and all sorts of different things.
Yes, and
it was exactly like the Oregon Trail.
Do you have another big trip like that planned coming up?
No, not for a while. We are trying to think about like little trips that we can take, like little weekend trips. Although weekends are not really good for me. I don't know if you know that or not, but weekends really are not awesome for me. So because I have a show on Sunday.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
And I have another one on Thursday nights that I try to be around for.
Yep.
Because it's good when I can do stuff like that, when I can make shows. So we'll see exactly what ends up happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about going to I think the next big trip that we take, which would be in like a year or more.
Yep.
Would be to like Chile, Argentina.
Ooh.
Area, somewhere in there. That would be amazing. I have yet to be in South America. I've been in Central America. I've been in Europe. I've been in Australia. No Africa, no South America, no Asia.
Okay.
Not yet.
I want to take the Australian trip, man. First to Hawaii. It's going to be Hawaii first, though.
Asia, I'm not too concerned with. I could take it or leave it. I mean, there are certain areas where it'd be really cool, but I don't know. Australia is awesome.
Yeah, definitely want to do
Australia, great people in Australia.
I would love to do that, but we'll see. I've got a birthday coming up, so we'll see if I get to do anything fun for my birthday.
It's a largish birthday for you too, right?
Yeah, it starts with a 4 and ends with a 0.
It's the first one that starts with a 4.
Yeah.
It's the first one that starts with an F. And doesn't end with a U.
And it doesn't end for a while.
And it doesn't end with a U.
That's true.
So, 40's easy.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm
coming up on the answer to everything.
Life, universe.
Yeah.
Everything.
Life, universe, and everything we know it.
In February.
Yeah. So I even got a hat for the occasion.
Really?
It has. Well, I have to return it actually because it doesn't fit. But it has a 42 on it. So there.
That sounds fun though.
Well, whatever. We should probably go. I mean, we've been post show now for a half hour.
I know. Well, you know what? We have a great chat room. So
and it was just cool to just chat because we haven't really had a chance to chat about like everything.
No.
We've kind of talked about it, but it's always been like we haven't really had the freedom to do that.
Yeah. And
so we wait until we're broadcasting on the internet to go and talk about these talk about these things because why not? Why not? It's just the internet.
That's right.
Nothing bad happens on the internet.
Well, all of this stuff happened already, so it's not like we're giving away any trade secrets.
No, not that. But I mean, it was just the emotional roller coaster, and then the roller coaster at the end was just amazing. So that's good. That's good stuff. All right, we are going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really, always appreciate you guys hanging out with us and joking around with us and having a good time. So thank you guys very much for that. We will see you soon on our other respective shows that we do. And then again on this one next week, which will hopefully take off no problem.
Yeah, I think we're going to go for another 2 weeks before we take our break. And then So we'll have 2 more episodes coming up, and then
Cool.
Christmas break.
Hey, and for those guys that watch Convert to Raid that maybe missed it on Sunday, you have to go to gamebreaker.com/live.
Yes,
or
you do.
.tv/live. Or actually, I guess you can do converttoraid.com/live as well. It will be broadcast there. But the problem is that you will not get notified if you are notified on Twitch unless you also follow Gamebreaker. So
yeah, I saw you came up on Gamebreaker through converttoraid.com/live. So
yeah.
It's cool.
So there. So follow
Yay.
Gamebreaker TV, and then that way you'll get notified every time they go on the air, which is like every other second.
Yes.
so there. All right, take care, guys. We'll talk to you later. Have a good rest of the week, and we will talk to you all very, very soon, I'm sure. Bye-bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.